Second round of Premier Sim Gaming League's Season 39 in Formula 2's PlayStation division. I am your host Otaku Logan, and I am brought to you by GT Omega and a certain other man in the commentary box tonight, and his name is Indigo. Welcome again, Indigo. What a hectic ending to a race we had last week, didn't we?
That's for sure. Welcome to Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be another fantastic race as well. I can't wait to see how this venue unfolds. This historical track around here, which has seen many championships won and lost in its past history. But yeah, what a first round in Bahrain. A season opener to remember as well. And I can't wait to see what happens here in Brazil.
Yes, so just to update you on the standings, the availability of all the drivers tonight, we're missing Jude and Alex Marciano, and therefore he will be replaced by, if I can just scroll through my notes here. Looks like Jude has to miss due to college, and I believe it said Nico Rosenberg was unavailable, but he is here now. Alex Marciano is not home, and Leon Rolf's a reserve, so he's not going to miss anything, but he's not going to be home at all. I've just seen the replacements, and it looks like it's M. Sipala in the Ferrari, who's not in the lobby right now. And looks like in the V card will be Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas is a reserve driver, so he's making his debut here today at the Brazilian Grand Prix. We've got a few people out there on our flying lap. Who are you on board with?
I am actually on board with Diogo Silva, who is at the top of the standings, because apparently that's the way it loads. I've got Lawrence coming through the S-curve, the infamous turn 3. Now out down to the Decidio del Lago, where a lot of moves are made by the end of it. Of course, remember the infamous 2021 race.
I don't remember. Can you remind me? No, I'm kidding. Of course I remember. But yeah,
I knew you were being
Lawrence,
sarcastic.
of course. But yeah, Lawrence making his way now through the twisty middle sets and then the slow speed corners where you want to gradually build on the throttle as he does do on the exit. We see plenty of people in the past spin. They're taking a very wide entry towards turn 10 when we saw Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon crash as he takes a wide, acute angle going down towards the flat side left-hander. As I would make our way towards John Sarrigo, we saw Timo Glock, Lewis Hamilton back in 2008. His tail goes towards the top on the time machines with a 6.7 with George Ansel in P2, Fraser in P3 as Lawrence makes his way back in the pit lane.
So you just come through the end of this track by just going through these extremely fast turns. You're allowed to cut that white line in qualifying, by the way. Diogo Silva goes to the top 6, and Evan Nye overtakes them into 5th. Tails is at the top with George Ansel, Fraser in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Tom and Evan Nye, the two Mercedes, I was about to say 4th and 5th, now 5th and 6th. Lolo gets into 3rd place. I'm not sure if we've got another driver supposed to be joining us as Zane's about to cross the line, and it sets one of the worst times of the session so far. I am just checking. We have not got any news on M. Sapala, so I'm not sure if you can. I'm just checking my notes. If you can just keep us updated, Indigo.
Lolo is a full-time driver. He wasn't here last week, got replaced, so he is up into P3. As Lucas crosses the line, he goes into P7, just behind the two Mercedes boys.
All right. Looks like we've not got any news from M. Sapala, so we're not sure if it's going to be Gavroche coming in. We'll have to just check.
Yeah, we are missing one driver, so hopefully we can hear the news from him very soon. As Christie goes quickest there with a 6.6. He was leading the Belgian Grand Prix, if you remember, but unfortunately I think that crash happened between him and Finley.
Sorry to interrupt. Christian has just went to the top 6.73, the first to get a 106.6, or below 106.7 to the 106.6 as he is. And still 13 minutes to go. We've only had 5 minutes, not even elapsed in the session. A long way to go. I think we could get 4 laps out of this.
Yeah, for sure. It is a short track, so we expect you can get to about 4 laps around here or more, it depends if you've got the fuel or not, and definitely the tyres as well. But a long track like Belgium, Singapore, where the tracks are very long indeed, you can't afford to make any mistakes. Hazara's gone up to P5 with a 6.8 there in the Sauber, so he's done 2 laps on those sets of compound tyres then. Must have been a mistake on his first one, but hooked it up on his second one, puts that Sauber into P5. His teammate Lawrence is on the out lap down there, and Nico Rassenberg is on a flying lap.
The collision's off, so if you run into another driver, you won't get hit, but it's not even ideal. So, not sure if we're getting Gavroche in or Imsapala. It doesn't look like he's going to show up despite saying so. Bit of a unfortunate thing to see, but we have 12 minutes left in the session. We're already a third of the way through the session. Let's see who's in the chat, shall we? Keep us updated, Indigo.
We've got Jess Games in the chat, we've got Laxi in the chat, so welcome to those two, and welcome to every single viewer here as well. We made it to 1,000 views last week, so I appreciate you all for watching the live stream last week as well on Monday. It was a fantastic race in Bahrain, and Nick as well is in the chat. I think the PSGL F45 driver, I can't actually remember, sorry Nick if I got it mistaken, but yeah, a driver who is very capable indeed on his best days is ILT Nick, as Lawrence is about to make his way now towards the DRS line, towards the checkered flag. Let's see where he can put his Sauber as he goes towards P4 with a 6.7. Last week's race winner was ETA Lawrence. He never led a single lap until the last lap on turn 4 in Bahrain.
But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And he's up to the top with, I think, 16 points. Correct me if I'm wrong. And because I don't think anyone got the fastest lap, I should have the standings on me, but I've just got into the house, so pardon me if I have a life. Yeah, it's Lawrence with 16 points. Hazard second with 12. 1 point behind is Jude with 11 because he got the pole position. It's only one qualifying session, Laxi, just to let you know. It would take way too long. We'd be here for days if we had 3 qualifying sessions. Okay, maybe an hour, but still. It's much easier just having the one session. After all, it's just a halfway race distance, so it would be as long as the race, and you only get 1 point for pole position, so having just the one session is fair enough.
Yeah, indeed. So it probably says at the top of the screen for everybody is Q1, but it's not. That glitch has been there for such a long time, so just ignore that. We do run short qualifying and a 50% race. As elsewhere on the track, we've got George, we've got Tails on a flying lap. Tails went a bit wide at the exit of turn 7 there, compromised into turn 8, so might have lost a little bit of lap time there, not getting the run he needs. Now going towards turn 10, locks up on the entry as it's okay as we go down towards Magulio now. Flat tire left-handed we go, as now we're coming towards the end of the middle sector for Tails. He's currently down, unfortunately, is Tails, but one more real corner to go, which is Judd Sau. I don't think he can find any more time. He's used a lot of EUS, of course, but we'll see what lap Tails could set as he dives off in the pit lane.
He sets a pit lane time. George Ansel has actually got a second in the V-Carb. Tails in the carbon fibre Alpine, which is completely different from the 2025 one, which is way better in my opinion. I think it's blue and pink, no carbon fibre. The Ferrari's just gone sliding round there. I don't know if we're going to have a 20th driver join us. We have been, teasing the fact that one has failed to show up, despite not saying. It's taken away from a driver, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, hopefully we get that one driver, but we're halfway into qualifying, and Hazara now has over the DRS as he's back in the pit lane, so he doesn't feel satisfied that lap time. Even Kai goes up into P7 with a 6.8 in the Mercedes then, as both Mercedes were hovering around the top 10 most of the race, as Christian goes quickest with a 6.6, extends the margin once again, but only just.
Yes, sorry, I had to turn away from the screen there. He improves by just about 4 tenths in that McLaren, which hasn't changed for next season, so I've got to remember that I don't have to remember much about that car. Of course, the V-Car is completely different, but it looks much better in my opinion. All white, like the 2021 Turkey livery.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was supposed to be for the Japanese Grand Prix, but obviously COVID kicked in and we replaced it with Turkey as
It
was
mention
Bottas's
that
last
word.
win.
don't mention that word. We might get monetized. The virus. The
Oh,
virus
sorry.
happened,
Oh, sorry.
and people have a lot of flashbacks about COVID, that virus. So we don't want to. But hey, out of it, a lot of good things happened as well. I mean, I got into this, and I'm still here 3 years later, or 4 years later, actually. Anyway, Evanis Krieg and Nico Rassenberg locking out the third row for Red Bull. But they do say Red Bull gives you wings, but they'll need more than wings to get further up the order. 7.5 minutes to go. Lawrence is on another lap, and he's given up. He's given up.
Yeah, so what happened to him? He made a mistake at turn number 4. I think he just outbroke himself and went off the track. He didn't invalidate, but yes, unfortunately for Lawrence there, made a big mistake as Tails has gone quicker in the first sector by a few hundred seconds there. Bit of a wobble on going out of turn 4, but still makes it out the corner unscathed and now makes his way towards the right hand he goes. Let's see how it takes. Just a lift off there, no need to double the brake at all.
Who needs brakes? Not him. As he comes through the middle sector of this track, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, named after one of their former drivers who I believe won the Brazilian Grand Prix one year. Unfortunately died very suddenly, and is still immortalised in the name of this circuit, or is commonly known as Interlagos, the region of Sao Paulo it is in. To the final corner we come. Fantastic track it is too. Can Tails get out of the order or get pole position? No, cannot. He's actually been well behind. He must have backed off somewhere. So it's Mains in third, and George Ansel is coming through. He's faster than last time, but is he fast enough? He is 1.25 tenths faster than he was previously, and he gets into the 106.5s, Indigo.
Yeah, what a lap time indeed. Where's his pace come from? Because last week in Bahrain, he really did struggle. Finished in, I think it was outside the top 10. He did qualify, I think, in 12th place. So his pace has come alive recently, has George, and he actually finished where he started too, from P12 to P12. So come alive here in Brazil, maybe one of his better tracks than Bahrain. He slowly but surely made his way through the field, but this time showing some tremendous pace indeed, as the rest are yet to respond with 5 minutes left to go in the session. Can anybody beat George Ansel? We've got Lolo coming towards in the first set, but unfortunately he's down. He's not on a flying lap time. Elsewhere, we've got Tom in Mercedes who goes up into P8, and I think his teammate behind him is about to start a flying lap around here.
He is. Just one moment, please. George Ansel at the top, but he could be overtaken soon as the other drivers are starting to get into their next lap. 5 minutes left to go in the session, and Slash is improving. Coming across the line in the Haas, which has a white stripe in the middle for next season on its livery, in the side pod, that is. So that actually looks pretty cool. It looks more, black and white, yin and yang, I guess. Christian's validated his lap.
We talk about the Haas there.
Yes.
I think I expected a bit more from the Haas livery, but it still looks alright to me. But yeah, and I think even Knight, unfortunately, in P14, he validates his lap time as well. So I think he ruined it somewhere in the first set as Mercedes driver. I think he's going to go for it again, or maybe head back in the pit lane, which he is right now.
It's only one Ferrari. I'm sad. Everyone is a Ferrari fan after all. Christian has invalidated his lap, so this lap will not count. So I bet he's going to come in. Yep, come in with 4 minutes to go. I'm sure he'll get one more or maybe 2 more laps on the board.
Yeah, should do. There is 3 minutes left to go, so he should get that lap time if he needs it, as well as Lucas and Christian are back in the pit lane. Lucas is going to head back in the pit lane as well. So majority of drivers, they're waiting for the final stages here in qualifying. We've got Zane, who is currently in the flying lap. Slash is down in P13. One of the outstanding people for me is going to be, say, 4-0. and Hazara, they're both down there. But if you look at the gaps, not too big from about P1 down towards P15, separated by 0.3 of a second here. So any gains, any small improvements could find yourself catapulted the order as Zane took a lot of curb in towards turn 4. So unsettled the rear of the car there, had a little bit of a wobble on going at the corner, so might have lost him a little bit of that time. But any small gains could definitely boost up the order. So let's see if Hazara's got the pace as he took pole. He did take pole, sorry, last week, but he definitely finished in second place. Did Hazara. He's qualified in fourth in the Sauber, did Hazara. He took the lead in the late stages. Then his teammate Lawrence came as well after a double stack in the pit lane with a safety car with about 10 laps to go in the race. Then a fantastic move, lap after lap by Lawrence to get himself into first, as Zane has another moment out. Junsao did improve, only slightly though, in the middle sector. But let's see if those small margins make a big difference as he now makes his way back in the pit lane. I think you put yourself on mute there, Logan, if you're talking.
So Yanil had 106.999. That's 4 tenths slower than George Ansel in a bit. And that's 17th. Fine margins.
There you go, you're back now. Did you put yourself on mute?
Yes, I realised when you said it.
Yeah, I've done it plenty of times, mate. No worries. But yes, we've got our main competitors heading on the pit lane now with 2 minutes left to go in the session, of course. If any of these drivers who came out very early make a mistake, they've always got a second lap time to do it if they've got the fuel, cool the tyres down and reach the battery. So our main competitors such as George, Ansel, Christian and Lucas are out there as well. Tails coming towards the end of the first set. So didn't catch his first intermediate split there, so I'm not quite sure if he's up or down in the first sector. But he's running medium here as well, not high lap. Probably just trying to save the ERS as well in the high-speed corner because we know that battery usage can be quite high around here as well. We've seen plenty of people use the deployment, but he's backed off, has Tails there, so he's not going to go for a flyer lap as the rest of the competitors are.
We've got word that Gavroche cannot race and MSIPA has not responded, so we're only going to have 19 drivers for the race.
Oh, what a shame there. But George Ansel, fortunately, he did make a mistake, but he's just backed off, so maybe go for a second preparation lap. I didn't see any of his mistakes from him. He was up in the first sector, but just backed off then, so he's not overall satisfied with that lap time. Christian 07 is now making his way towards the Posture Straight as he got the DRS wide open then as he makes his way towards the end of the first sector. It's going to be a 17.2 as he makes his way down towards turn 4, uses a lot of curb on the inside, leads out the outside, then flat out through this kink. Now we're making our way towards Ferradura as we make our way towards the top of the hill, flicking in the 50-meter board there as he's carrying his speed through as we now make our way towards the top of the hill, braking down towards third gear, just being very careful with the throttle usage, bit of brake there as well to slow the car down, rotates the car very nicely as we make our way now towards turn 10, open up the corner here to get a better exit as we stamp on the throttle once again, use a bit of overtake as well to boost your way out the corner, going down towards Baguli, here we go, hugging the inside curb, look at that, Christian is 2 tenths up in the middle sector as he continues with his good form out just our lovely exit, no signs of the car stepping out as he uses all the battery completion down the straight there, DRS is wide open, here comes Christian towards the line, this should be pole, which it is. It's a 6.4.
But it's not over yet. There are still other drivers trying to get faster. George Ansel's faster, but I don't think he's fast enough. Lucas is invalidated, and Vinay is in 4th, and I don't think he'll set another time. Brian Eamers has only managed 17th, and the lower drivers are retiring as they realise they can't get it. Tails is not fast enough. Tails is not fast enough. Yanil is coming through. Not sorry, Yanil. George Ansel coming through every night. Lawrence has only managed 8th, disappointing from the leader of the championship after the first round. Slash has only managed 15th. Zane is in 14th. George Ansel's coming to the line. He looks fast. He looks rapid. Is it going to be the quickest time? It is! By 400ths! But is it going to be enough? I think it is because I don't see anyone improving. Yeah, we've got red, red, and red. That's it. The last proper lap of the session. And George Ansel has taken it at the end.
So, what a complete contrast to Bahrain qualifying. We see Hazara, Lawrence up there. We saw George Ansel started down in P12 last time out in Bahrain. But what a complete turnaround here between all these guys. Tails still in third place after a great qualifying. He took second place back in Bahrain, starts third. Christian starts in second after starting fifth. Van, much better qualifying from him this time round as he struggled back at the Bahrain Grand Prix, but up into P4 in his Red Bulls, and even Kanai up into P6 ahead of Kevin. But the most disappointing people for me are the two kick Sabers, Lawrence, and Hazara.
Yes, absolutely. The two kick Sabers who got 1 and 2 last week have been unable to get into the top 5 of this session. Actually, the top 4 rows. They're in 9th and 16th. First showing from them, and that blows the Constructor Championship wide open only in the second round, I know. The lone Ferrari of Diogo Silva could only manage 18th. Finley, of course, had a qualifying ban, did not take part. It's George Anton Christian in the front row, Tails and Iskrieg in the second row, Lucas and Evan Nye in the third row. We got Yanil Kevin Zunneberg in the fourth row, Lawrence and Fraser in the fifth row. In the sixth row, we have Lolo and Nico Rassenberg, Tom and Zane in row 7. Row 8 is Mislash and Azara. Row 9 is Brian Emers and Diogo Silva. And at the back of the grid, all alone on row 10, is Finley.
Yeah, we know Finley had a qualifying ban due to his crash, I think was with Christian into the wall on the second DRS straight in Bahrain. So that's why he's got a qualifying ban. I got confused between Fraser and Finley, both beginning with F, of course, so I got to remember which one it was, and it was Finley who picked up that qualifying ban, hence why he hasn't started or set a lap time and he starts the back of the field. But we've seen plenty of times with the back of the field. The most memorable the most memorable one for me was Carlos Sainz back in 2019 when he started in P20, finished in P4, but promoted to P3 after Lewis Hamilton's 10-second time. Most people thinking, why do you remember that one out of all of them? Well, I think because it I just remember it. But it is a wet race, but we do have a new lobby.
Oh dear, and it's raining. I don't think this will actually be the... It's not a new lobby.
It is a new lobby indeed, Sen. So we will see rain here hit into Lagos as it's done in the previous years of F1, or will it be a dry race?
I'm not seeing any messages saying it's a new lobby. Where are you seeing that? All the drivers are still there. Hazara's just left. We don't need a new lobby. Should just message them. By the way, why did I mention that? We do have sponsors. As everyone's getting a practice start, it seems. Our sponsor this year.
Continue, sorry.
Rude. PSGL is proud to announce its sponsor, GT Omega, our leading title sponsor. They've been around since season 34. Can you believe that? Hazara's screen crashed, that's what happened. So it's not a new lobby. Sorry for this information.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to say new lobby. I meant to say, what is it, lobby restart?
Yes. Never mind. At least we've got it sorted out. So yeah, G2 Omega, our title sponsor for season 34 and beyond. Leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals. You can buy gaming chairs, sim racing rigs, and you can get a discount code. 5% off. 5% off on all G2 Omega products using the code PSGL. So make sure you check out the site www.gtomega.co.uk. Right, looks like we have the full grid back in the lobby, so only 19 drivers, yes. Oh, we could get Leon Rolfe. Leon Rolfe is here. He is a legitimate reserve, so he can join, but he will be last in the order because he's obviously not done qualifying. If it was F1, you wouldn't be allowed to participate, but it's more lax here.
Just want to reiterate as well what a fantastic Bahrain Grand Prix it was last week. The opening round of the season definitely displayed some fantastic racing and a show of fireworks as well between Hazara and Lawrence, Tails, Jude, Christian, Yanil, as well as the top six Ford staff to lead the Grand Prix. It was pretty much Jude, Tails, and Hazara going from head to head for majority of the Grand Prix. Then towards the later stage, there was a safety car caused by Finley and Christian, and that caused a 10-lap shootout with people going on the soft car powered tyres towards the end to fight it out. Then out of nowhere, Lawrence, despite having to do a double stack again, fallen down the order. They make his way up the order slowly but surely to put himself amongst the rest of the pack, and he overtook very nicely. He overtook Tails and Jude. Therefore, his teammate on the last lap of the Grand Prix, Hazara, said to me that I think he should have been more defensive on the inside because he wasn't expecting it. But Lawrence fought brilliantly to get back up to the field, put himself into first place at turn 4 and controlled the race. He never led one single lap of the Grand Prix until the last lap of turn 4. Then went on to win. It was a kick Sauber 1-2, but this time round in Brazilian qualifying, looks like Sauber major disadvantage points with them starting down further down the order as well. So might be a bit of a struggle there for Lawrence and Hazara, especially from 9th to 6th. But we've seen Hazara's race pace in the past, we've seen Lawrence's race pace in the past. Anything can happen around here in Brazil. DRS trains as well, and we'll see what happens during the Grand Prix. But so far, it is the advantage of George Ansel in the RB, doing a fantastic job, taking pole ahead of Christian as well. With Tails still in P3, so Tails also showing some good performances, with Ivan in P4, Lucas P5, as we got Aiden Kai and Yanil P6 and P7, Kevin in P9, Kevin in P8, sorry, Lawrence P9, Finley in 10th ahead of Lola, Nico Rassenberg as well. He had DNF last week in Brazil, Bahrain, sorry, because I think he got involved in contact, even broke his wrist as well. So hopefully Nico Rassenberg is alright today. Zane P14 ahead of Slash, Hazara 16th, Brian Emmers in P17 ahead of Diogo Silva, and Finley 19th.
Right, actually, we're not getting Leon Rolfe. I've just been told we are not allowed to get him in because it's between. You're not allowed to join after this started. Apparently, it says.
Oh, hello, Cameron's dad. Hello, James, and hello, Ivan. Nice to see you guys here.
Cameron,
Thank you so much for the support.
Cameron's dad, this is the wrong league. You have to wait another 30 minutes for the actual league for your son to start. I know you're a proud dad and all, but just saying that he's not in this league. Okay, he's too good for this league anyway. He's won every race. Right, let's get started in here.
Well, thankfully, it is a sunny race then, so all these drivers should enjoy the sunshine, and I can't wait to see what happens here in Brazil. Of course, it's a 36-lap race, short distance as well. We'll see what happens going down towards turn 1.
Should be interesting. It's prone to cause chaos. I always tune into this league before his race. Okay, well, feel free to, but I'm just saying he's not in this league. It's a nice sunny day.
Cameron's dad has heard me commentate before, so I'm glad to see James comment in the chat again.
What's that in the corner there of the track? It looks like it's flashing. It's my screen it is anyway. So let me know if we are getting started.
Of course, last season in Brazil, what a fantastic race that was. Max Verstappen from P17 to P1 with a double LP podium with Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly as well, finishing P2 and P3. That was a fantastic race in Brazil. Even if you're not a Max Verstappen fan, I think you all should appreciate his drive.
Yeah, he moaned his way to the win. He moaned it all weekend, still won. By like 15 seconds, was it?
think it was like, yes, 18, 19. The gap just kept extending
In like the
overall. But yeah,
seventh best car. If Perez was driving in that car as well.
can't remember where. Oh yeah, Perez spun, didn't he, in the first few laps of the Grand Prix?
That's part of the course for guys like Perez.
We'll see how Liam Lawson copes this season in Red Bull. Can't wait, of course. Rookies, different driver changes. Only two teams have the same lineup as last season: Aston Martin and McLaren.
Right. Just a reminder of the grid. It is George Ansell on pole with Christian in second, and Tails third, Eskreen fourth, Lucas in fifth, Evan Ionel, Kevin Zunneberg, Lawrence, Fraser, Lolo, Rassenberg, Tom, Zane, Slash, and Hazara.
Hello, Nathan. Nice to see you in the chat as always, mate. Hopefully you're doing well. And yes, I am good, thank you. Hope you're doing well too.
Right. Almost ready to go.
What's your predictions for this race then, mate? What are you expecting around here in Brazil? Do you think there's going to be any safety cars around here?
Not too sure. Let's see what happens. We're still waiting for the action to begin.
Are you waiting for anybody, or are we just waiting for the green light to go?
Just waiting for the entire session to begin, that's all. Right, here we go. 5 lights ahead of us in Brazil, as well as 36 laps. And it begins right here. It is going to be George Ansell that's going to get ahead in the lead, but here comes Christian on the inside. Christian going on the inside, trying to take the lead, but it looks like George Ansell will cover it off and stay in the lead. Tails is trying to challenge for second place as well, as they head through turn number 3 now, and it's George Ansell with a big advantage heading into the run down to the City of the Lago. Christian trying to fend from Tails, who's going for his third position. Further fighting behind, as Finley's making up positions, as we've got some squabbles as well as some debris going around as well. We don't want to be seeing that flying off this early in the race. I'm not sure if that's actual debris, it's just weird bug effects, and something's happening to Zara there, and oh dear, looks like Finley has got a bit lopsided from that, and he's lost all the positions he's made up. Yanel and Evan Nye are fighting for position. I do not know what's going on behind there. It looks like Finley and Diogo Silva are fighting for 17th place. And Fraser as well, his teammate, fighting as well in the mid-pack.
Yeah, it looks like a relatively clean start from everybody, other than a few people going side by side. But obviously, there's Zane going off the track there in John Sal, so he's spun out of the corner, unfortunately, while his teammate of Christian is right behind George. And let's see, he stays behind him for the time being. He knows DRS is enabled on the next lap, so he knows that'll be his golden opportunity to take the lead of the Grand Prix. As DRS, there you can see at the top of your screen, is enabled then, and this is where we'll pick it up on this short straight, headed down towards turn 4. So here we are with the DRS enabled. Will he go for it, or will he just stay behind? Play this tactically what I saw back in Bahrain and pounced when he needs to later on in the Grand Prix as well.
Sorry, Tails nearly ran into the back of Christian there, and he's lost some time, and now Squeak is on his gearbox. That was a very close shave for Christian and Tails, respectively. That could have been the end of their races at this very early juncture of the race.
Yeah, just broke himself there. I was on board with Christian's rear wing, just keeping an eye on Tails behind, and he almost, like you said, ran to the back of him, but thankfully didn't, and he did lose a bit of time, but keeps the car pointing in the right direction as they all make their way through this slow speed in this middle sector here before making their way towards Judson right now. As they're all pushed up there with the DRS wide open, nobody has really opened up the gap towards 1 second, other than Zane, who spun in the final corner. Let's see if we can try and catch this pack, but so far, it's a big DRS train all the way from first down to 18th. Like you said, Nico Rassenberg had a horrible start. He's down towards 18th. Here comes Christian now on George as he takes the lead of the Grand Prix. He puts himself into first place. He was leading. Remember, the Bahrain Grand Prix in the opening stage has been absolutely swamped by the guys behind. Let's see if it happens here in Brazil this time. He needs a better result, of course, after with that crash with Finley.
And here comes George Ansell. He's looking right behind Christian, and he'll stay behind Christian for the meantime. After all, this is only lap number 3, 36, 34 laps to go. Diogo Silva's lost position to Nico Rassenberg back further back. We have looks like they're all staying in the same train, all but Nico Rassenberg within 1 second of every driver. So very close, very open wide, and we could have a new championship leader for sure if Lawrence cannot make up all these places back in that stake. Oh no, back in that kick Sauber, I'm in trouble. I've had too much stake, that's why. Lawrence is in 8th place in the kick Sauber, and Evan Nye is ahead of him. So he needs to be making up position to try and limit the damage on his championship lead. But here comes George Ansel again. Going to swap positions into the first corner and takes the lead back from him like a baby. Candy from a baby. Lap number 4 is about to begin.
Yeah, I wonder when Tails, Ivan and Lucas behind will start to put the pressure on these guys. Here comes Christian again, side by side with George, as these two will just trade DRS in first and second, and that's what we do all the time, every time we're out in front. Just trade DRS to try and keep the guys behind, making sure they stay in 3rd and 4th place there. So it looks like these guys behind have nowhere to go, just following this DRS trade, hoping something happens in front. But sometimes we see 3rd place, put the pressure on, we see double overtakes going down towards turn number 4 in League Racing 2 in Brazil. So let's see if Tails tries to force the pressure. I know that you're not allowed to see the ERS, but I can tell you that on the steering wheel he has got a lot saved up, ready to use later on in this Grand Prix as well, because Van struggling a bit coming out of turn number 10. I've got on board with a few drivers. It looks like they're struggling with the rear brakes going in towards the slow speed corners there. Just lock up the rear brakes and lose the momentum and traction as well on the exit. So here we are on the main straight once again. Let's see if Tails will try and look for a move on Christian and George, as here comes George once again, just taking the lead of the Grand Prix away from Christian as he puts himself back into first place, as Lawrence further down has set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Tails locks up in the background. Lawrence really puts the pressure on. Tom versus Lolo going side by side towards turn 3. More contact. Oh, he goes to the barrier. He's in the barrier.
Waller's off. He's lost a bit of his wing. Still in the race though, but back at the pack now.
Oh, what a shame there for Lolo. Just a slight bit of contact as he puts himself further down the order.
Lawrence is behind, now up into 8th again, with Evan Nye ahead of him. Actually, no, that Lolo crash was further behind. So not sure what happened between Lolo and Tom. Probably wrong place, wrong time, and just lost control of the car. So Lawrence now, is this the championship leader we're looking for at this rate, he'll only get 3 points. He'll only be up to 19 points, and I'm very, very sure that George Ansel or another driver in the further up will be taking the championship lead. No, that is not Harry Kane commentating. Unfortunately, we can't afford him. The lead changes once again, and we've lost Harry Kane. I mean, Indigo.
Oh, sorry about that. But Christian goes a bit deeper towards turn 1. Lawrence is now ahead of even now. He puts himself into P7, but there's still scuffing away in the background. Oh, I saw Christian on the curb there as he almost lost the air in the car. Here comes George now with the DRS once again as he puts himself back into the Grand Prix. Lolo picks himself up a 10-second penalty and retires in the pit lane too.
I don't know why people retire. You know, anything can happen. Remember what happened to Jenson Button one time? Remember what happened to Sergio Perez one time? Yeah, they came from absolutely nowhere and they won the race.
And I presume you're talking about 2011, the Canadian Grand Prix, and 2020 Sakir as well.
That's right.
There are definitely some good memories there as well back then when those two had their own struggles and made their way back to the field as well. Fantastic drive for both of them on that occasion. But Van's really applying the pressure now on the guys ahead as well, right behind the Alpine's gearbox as they squirm away out of John Sarden. So I presume we'll see Christian and George just trade DRS on the straight as though slip through by each other again. But his tail's going to start to put the pressure on as well, try and force himself up the order to have a better chance. And here comes Christian, and here comes Tails down the inside towards turn 1. There is contact between those two. Christian goes a bit wide, but here comes Tails now with a better line, as he has a much better run going through turn 3 and turn 4. Here he is with the DS open once again. Will he go for a move down towards turn 4? But George stays behind for the time being, playing this very tactically indeed.
Sorry I missed the first turn incident between those three. I was too focused on the drivers further back, including Lawrence and Freezer, who were close enough themselves. But it is now the top three really starting to get close. A top 6, I'd have to say. Whoa, there's a move there from Yanil, a bold move. It doesn't work, but you've got to respect the hustle from Yanil. That was mad, a challenge of Lucas. It was pretty fair game, I had to say as well. There was a space wide open on Lucas's right on the inside, but unable to capitalise. In fact, he's further close to Lawrence behind than he is to Lucas in front of him, so he's got to get a move on if he wants to get that position.
Yeah, he does indeed. He tried to do it because, of course, you're stuck in the DRS train. You've got to try something different, but at the same time, you don't want to open up the DRS train either. You don't want to lose that 1 second gap. So he tried it, but realised you couldn't make it work, and therefore, I saw George. Did he make contact, or did he lose the rear of the car? I'm not quite sure.
Lost the rear. Lost the rear. Definitely lost the rear. Sorry, he was nowhere near Christian. So it was definitely George, a mistake from George. You don't want to be doing that, even in this early stage of the race, because it could come back to haunt you later. If there's, say, no safety car, or your tyres start to burn up very easily, as Finlay on the board already for penalties. He's getting swamped by the driver. He's 2.3 seconds off Azara in 13th, and now Nico Rassenberg, not to be confused with Nico Rosberg, is climbing up close to him, and so is Diogo Silva and Zane. So big trouble for Finlay already, even though he's made up 5 places.
He had a good start initially in the first phase, but he did drop backwards, like I said. Now he's dropped backwards once again, so he's out of that lucrative 1 second of DRS there. He's not able to catch up to the back. And once you're out of DRS range of somebody, it is very difficult to close it. I can see him in the distance as well, exiting Jun Zhao. As we go on board, then the top two once again. And here comes George on Christian, puts himself in the lead of the Grand Prix. Here comes Janil down the inside in towards turn 1, the wheel to wheel. Let's see who wins in this battle, as they're very close once again. But what's happened here? Have I lagged out, or has the contact been made between?
I can't hear you. You might have lagged out, but Lawrence and Yanil are fighting. Christian is taking the lead again, and Lawrence is right behind Yanil. Now this is the championship leader we're looking at here, and looks like we have lost. We have lost Indigo. He's had some connection issues. That's not very good to see. Hopefully we can get him back in. Not sure if it's happening to anyone else. He's honestly... actually, whilst I get him, let me just get him for you. Actually, I'm not sure if we can get him until he actually rejoins properly. Sorry. Right, so we apologise for that. It looks like we have lost Indigo due to a network error. George Ansel is about to take the lead again. And Christian right behind will have to settle for second place for now. Tails and Ivan and Lucas also starting to get up close. Yanil's falling behind those 6 temps. He doesn't want to lose that, but I'm sure the DRS will make up for it. Big DRS train, as you would expect in these leagues. Everyone very close to each other. Cannot be separated. Azara is not having a great time this week. Down in 13th, and that's Brian Emers. Now, what's happened to Brian Emers? He lagged out, it seems, and it looks like he's gone completely all over the place, and is now at 17th. So, not sure what happens there, but George Ansel in the lead again. I'm just going to... Give me 1 second, people.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're back?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I thought I just saw everybody leaving, then I realised I was the only one that left. So my bad about that one.
Whoa! Sorry, hold you up there. We've got a freeway battle for the lead. It's Christian, George Ansel, and Tails. Tails trying to get in his inside. Christian take the lead. George Ansel nearly loses second position, but now keeps his second position and is being challenged for his second position by Tails again. And Ivanus Creek too is trying to get into that battle as Christian now back in the lead. But my word, that was something. And Indigo's back in the session, thankfully, so I don't need to get in an invite. So, you've not missed much. Christian in the lead, George Anson second, Tails in third. But my, there's some good battling, and as you're now going for it again! He did this the last time, but he's not going to do it this time. Right, Lucas will be feeling quite intimidated by those moves. He'll have to try and come up with the best defense to counter Yanil's offense. But he remains in fifth for now.
Yeah, he does there. So Lucas under massive pressure, having to keep an eye on Yanil. trying to stay in 5th place as well. And here we go on the straight once again. Like you said, those guys looked very close last time, and now Martivi's about to turn up. Here comes George on Christian for the lead of the Grand Prix. Behind is Tails and Ivan. Here comes Tails up the inside of Christian, going down towards turn 1. Can he make it stick? He can't, because Christian has a better run on the outside, but he loses the back of the car. Here comes Ivan now, wheel to wheel with Tails after a compromised exit at turn 3. Sorry, now he's boxed in, and here he is once again. Tails puts himself into P3, and down the inside goes Janelle on Lucas in towards turn 4. He goes off the track, no room there between the two as they continue the battle once again. Being very impatient. He wants to get past immediately as we go side by side into Ferradoro. Can he make it stick? Lucas stays in P5. Great defense once again as arrives out of shape in towards turn 8 we go. Now he's got Lawrence on the outside, but no way through.
No damage, thankfully, to It looks like he ran into the back of him, so that's what my shriek was about. But it looks like he's okay. So, remains in 6th place. in 5th. George Ansel still leading. The VCOGs are 1st and 5th right now. It's kind of like Toro Rosso in 2008.
I know Christian is 2nd place, trying to play this tactic because he lost the lead of the Grand Prix. He got absolutely swamped in Bahrain last time. He went from 1st down to 4th, so he knows this time as Lawrence goes down the inside in towards turn 1 and this time he forces the pressure on who tries to force the pressure. Now they go wheel to wheel once again. Lawrence gets a better exit than puts himself into P6. Here comes even 9 now side by side with him. He's getting swamped on the straight. Here comes the Aston Martin. Fraser down the inside in towards turn 4 we go. Is it a double move? He might do it as here comes once again trying to reclaim ground as he lost it on that straight by 3 places as well. So put the pressure on. Now he's fallen down into P9.
Yeah, not ideal, and now it might be P10. Tom going down the inside, doing what tried, and ain't happy about this. He wants a position back, and he's actually pushed him right to the edge. He's not having this. He's not going down without a fight, but he's lost the position. He might lose another one here. Kevin Zunderberg might take a point from him, because now he's about to fall out of the points.
The pressure's really ramping up for as well because he's losing places left, right, and centre. So Maya lost a bit of composure there, as need to regain his ground once again and try and get back to the field. Here goes Christian on George, puts himself back as the lead of the Grand Prix. The top 3 just remain as they are for the last 14 laps there. Great teamwork between all these guys. I know it's not teamwork obviously, but keeping the rest of the guys behind, that's very important in the early stages of Grand Prix. Just choosing your moments at the right time, picky moments as well. Here comes George back on Christian, puts himself back into 1st place. Great racing from George as well after started out in P12 back in the Bahrain Grand Prix.
That tail's getting very close to Christian there. It looks like Christian didn't have the best exit out of the City de Lago, but remains in 2nd place. And in fact, he's about 3 car lengths away from George Axel and 1 car length behind Tails, or ahead of Tails. This is becoming very bunched up racing again. The top 5 in one large bunch, like peas in a pod, or like bananas in a bunch. I mean, it could be the same thing. But you get a lot of peas in a pod. But now George Ansel will have to try and defend again. Are they going to be swapping positions again? And I wonder, will Tails and Ivan or even Lucas have something to say about this? Will they play spoiler? Let's find out. We head into the beginning of lap number 15 or 36. Looks like we are going to have a free wide, is it? Tails is getting very interested here. It's free wide. Tails is going to put his shot. He's going to throw his hat into the ring and gets into 2nd place. And now he has a chance to take the lead.
Oh, does he? Because here comes George once again, and here comes Tails now on Christian. He puts himself down the inside in towards turn 4, and has a bit of a swap on. He's off the track. He has gone off the track. Has a massive swap on the exit. He's fallen down into P7 now. Yes, P7. Yeah. What a shame. He just took the lead, then lost the car, and he has fallen down a whole bunch of places. A whole world of pain there for Tails. After that great work, just biding his time, waiting for the opportunity. All of that just to go down to P7 in the space of a few quarters.
Tails was the leader of the race for about 4 seconds. You need to get a trophy written of that on it. No, only kidding. He might have more though if he can fight his way up the order. As that is Lawrence who's made a mistake, and this has given Fraser a chance to move through, as well as Tails. They're going to get very wide here, 3 wide maybe. as Tails is going to swerve through into 6. Is he going to swerve into 5th? He's going to take you inside on the corner. No, it's not. He's not. Oh, he's trying to. He's really trying to fight it. But now Tails is losing momentum, and now Lawrence is coming up behind again. And now he's going to have to try and make this move. Is Lawrence, and look at this in the inside. Evan Nye going to try and make a move as well. This is fantastic from Evan Nye. He makes up 2 positions down the straight. Tails goes wide, and now lets Lawrence through again. Lawrence and Tails are side by side through there. It's very small on the screen, I know, but he gets through and stays on 7th position. But Evan Nye taking a couple positions away. Very nicely done.
Oh, down the inside goes Lucas into turn 10. He makes his way, but he can't get past just yet. Van's got the outside line, a better exit, but it's still go wheel to wheel here. Not in a place where to go side by side. That's the 2 Redos, but he goes out wide. There is contact. Any full wind damage? I'm not quite sure as we climb towards the top of the hill. Guess what? The DRS has been broken now thanks to these 2 scrapping away. As George Ansel is right at the back of Christian. He takes the lead. Here comes Fraser on both of them. Fraser has gone for P3 as he goes down the inside towards turn 1. Incredible.
Wow, the race has really come alive. You better stay in your seats because this is going to be a hot one. And now Evan Nye is going to try and do the same trick that he did last time. He's going to try and get past the Evan S. Krieg and Lucas, but he's not going to be able to, as those 2 are coming side by side now and nearly come to blows. Evan Nye under pressure from Tails, but he can't get it done. The top 2 very close together. They're 1.8 seconds ahead of 3rd place. They've got a lot of time in their hands. You don't think they're going to be doing anything silly at this rate, as there's battles happening in the back. Tom, Lawrence and Yanil. Yanil has gone on wide in the middle section and loses position to Tom, tries to get the position back. Oh, and he's right into Lawrence. That's not what you want to be doing, and he's gone down into 13th. And looks like Lawrence is okay, but he's lost a lot of time. He's ghosted in Tom, and they come through Yun Chao. He's now down in 9th place. He's got his teammate Azara behind him, and it looks like he's back to square 1 for Lawrence.
Oh, what a shame there. Now his teammates behind him too. As Lawrence is off the track, he overtakes him off the track. You might have to give that back. You know?
He has to give that back. Yeah, he has to give that back. It was an illegal overtake. It was cutting across the white line. He was getting a warning as well. So, no, you want to do. Tails and Zunenberg have pit. It's a double stack. What are they thinking at Alpine? Kevin Zunenberg, long way back, yes. But an undercut to negate the unfortunate moment he had earlier on. But he's meant that Kevin Zunenberg, some reason, has also pit. He's going to be at the back of the pack anyway, but not what you want to be doing during the race.
And let's talk about Fraser. Yeah, like you said, he's not what to be doing whatsoever between Tails and Kevin, but Fraser started at a P10. Slowly but surely, he made his way through the field. Now he puts himself into P3. Fantastic drive from Fraser to finish up into P12, but out of this DRS range as well with Yanil, who's dropped backwards dramatically as well. So Yanil is really struggling to get himself back in the DRS range. But watch out for Tails as well. Gone for an early undercut, it must be said. 18 laps to go on a set of medium compound tyres. It's doable, but it might suffer a bit towards the last stages.
We have undercutters. Fraser, Evan, Tom and Lawrence and Yanil are coming in. Lucas, Evan Nye and Hazara and Slash, Finley, Diogo Silva, Nico Rassenberg, all staying out. Lawrence, Zane as well. So we have 5 undercut takers. Well, in addition to the other 2.
It looks like Christian and George Ansel might have to respond then, as the rest of the guys behind are doing the undercut attempts. But let's see where Tails rejoins in this battle. He rejoins behind Fraser, so he did not get the undercut he wanted on the Aston Martin. So the Aston Martin effectively is the leader of the new tyre runners indeed in P11. Did a fantastic job so far. As come through, here comes Tom as well, and Ivan and Lawrence coming through on the brand new set of medium compound tyres, with Kevin rejoining all the way down in last place because both RP drivers did a double stack. I'm not quite sure what happened between communication there between the 2 RP drivers, but I'm sure it'll be discussed after the Grand Prix between the 2 to see what happened. Let's see if George and Christian pit. Do they? Let's have a look right now. They do, both together.
Yeah, they're in, as well as I think there is. Oh! No! 10-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. George Ansel is in big trouble. You don't want to be doing that at all.
Oh no, what a race over there for George Ansell. Disappointment for him, it must be said. I feel sorry for him. At the same time, got to adhere to pit lane speed limiter, because remember, a game ago, it was a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's a 10-second penalty. It is brutal indeed. Very brutal.
Absolutely. Now, where is Tails going to rejoin? This is important. He's ahead. He's ahead. He's the new effective race leader.
Wow, he's back in the effective race lead again after falling backwards, remember, at the exit of turn 4. So, despite the mistake, the undercut has worked. He puts himself back into P2 and has got another shot of trying to win the Grand Prix. But George, oh my goodness me, and I'm sure the guys in his team are, well, not disappointed, but upset for him, of course, because he's done a fantastic job so far. He struggled in Bahrain, came back in Brazil, and took pole, but unfortunately does have a weight on his shoulders to carry through the whole race as well. So it's going to be hard from there to even get a podium because these guys are so close together. So I wonder where he will finish after the Grand Prix.
Throw that self-deprecating trophy out the window I mentioned earlier. Tails is now in the lead for about a minute, but he might lose it now. You've got to remember as well, he is on weaker tyres because he has been on them longer, so he'll be at a bit of a disadvantage. But then again, George Ansell has that 10-second penalty as Christian gets ahead of Fraser.
He does indeed then, so Christian ahead of Fraser right now in P4. Christian did a good job. He's also got another shot to win his Grand Prix. Of course, he was the effective race leader. So George Ansell and Christian on fresher tyres adds a lot, if you remember as well, as even Nye puts himself into P6 ahead of Ivan then. And there is the second group as well in the DRS train. It's been split. So the top 5, or shall I say second, third and fourth and fifth, pull away as there is the second group then. So let's see how these guys will play out now.
And Zane is playing spoiler. I don't know what's going on here. I think he's trying to help Christian out, and this is frustrating George Ansell, who gets through, but this will definitely frustrate Tails and Christian and Fraser, because now Christian's right behind Tails. He could try and make a move on here, but and I think he had to be taking the battleground there, did Tails. He gets on the inside. He should get through, and it looks like, whoa, and he's almost collided with his teammate. He almost collides with his teammate. And is that Tails going for the inside of George Ansell? It is! I'm not sure if he's supposed to do that if he's got a 10-second penalty, but he is, and he's now on the outside of George Ansell. He's going to try and get through right here. My word, it's got quite interesting, this battle.
It has indeed. Tails and George once again side by side in towards turn 4. Tails gets the move done, puts himself back into first place. I thought with all of this battle, it will enable the likes of even now to get closer and closer and bring the second group in.
That was Christian. He nearly lost it there. Christian sliding around. And now, still in third place, Tails trying to hold on to that lead. He's going to try and have maybe George Ansell to help him somewhat. But now, look at what it's done. Look what it's done. Zane is now on DRS range from Evan Nye and Fraser. He's connecting them two up again.
He is indeed then. So Zane, who stayed up there later compared to everybody else, helping his teammate. And now here comes George Ansell and Tails once again as they go wheel to wheel. As George takes the lead. Here comes Christian. Might take them both on as we head down towards turn 1. Here's a double overtake again as he puts himself nearly in the lead. But George has the outside line, has the inside line for turn 2. Gets a better exit. Van picks himself up a 3-second penalty. And here comes Fraser on the back of Tails. Now Tails puts the pressure on Christian. Christian puts the pressure on George, headed down towards turn 4, and he gets ahead of him in towards the breaker zone as well. Further in the background, crucial move. Even Nye puts himself into P5 plus, he's on better tyres too, ahead of the McLaren driver.
Yes, you see the top 4 in the distance. Evan Nye licking his lips. He wants a shot at the win with 14 laps to go. Oh, and Zane causing more problems for further back. That's Lawrence and Evan Eskry trying to get past. Lawrence gets through. Evan has got through as well. And Tom trying to get through as gets all out of shape to Zane around the middle section. And now is down in P9. And he's not pitted yet. He's still hanging for a safety car. Or is he going on softs?
surely going on the soccer pod ties now. There may be no point going on the medical pod ties, but back towards the front, and it's getting spicy once again with Tails, George, and Christian. And here comes Fraser down the inside, in towards turn one. Let's see if he can make it stick. The wheel to wheel, in towards the first two corners, bit of contact. Fraser is off the track, and here comes Even I. Even I might take advantage as we have the DRS wide open on this short straight, but the DRS is also enabled for Fraser as he slips through back into third place ahead of Tails. Again, this is a fantastic race from Fraser, started in P10 and now he's into P3. Anything
he
can
nearly
happen during
hit the back of Tails. He nearly hit the back of Tails. He's through out of the city of Lago, and he's lucky that his front wing is still unscathed. My goodness. Tails down in fourth now. Christian and George Ansel back in the lead. Is Tails starting to fall behind because of his old tyres? I hope not.
Hopefully not, because they should be in good shape still, but they shouldn't drop off too dramatically until the late stage of the Grand Prix. We'll definitely feel the effects later on when the tyre gets older and older. We know the mini compound tyres, of course, do degrade quite significantly, but this track shouldn't be too bad for tyre wear. And now George Ansel puts himself back in the lead of the Grand Prix. Once again, it's George versus Christian, but Christian has a big shot at winning this because he knows that George in front of him does have a 10-second advantage. So George on a massive disadvantage as Tom gets ahead of Ivan around the outside, and Hazara goes around the outside. There's contact between those two as Hazara has to concede the place. Christian goes back in the lead of the Grand Prix once again, as it was between the top two, scrapping away in the first stint as there was two left alone.
So Slash in the top 10 there, fighting with Hazara for another point. George Ansel still with that 10-second penalty lingering up his head. It's not what he would have wanted. Someone saying Tails, I'm fairly sure pronounced Tales, not Tails. Now, it's unfortunate being an English speaker, me. Of course, they say it very differently. I think he's from Brazil anyway, so I think it would be Tales or something. I do apologise. Should we call him Tales or Tails? What do you think, audience?
Tales. I think it would be more respectful calling him Tales. But here comes George on Christian. Puts himself into first place. Can Tales get a podium in his home Grand Prix? Now, even now, puts the pressure on going down towards turn one. Takes away the podium place away from Tales. Of course, we know Tales. We know that George Ansel does have a 10-second advantage. So effectively, he is out of the equation. It's all down towards who can get that third place spot. Will it be even I? Will it be Tales? Or can it be anybody else further behind?
Next we'll see George Ansel is actually George Russell. So effectively the leader is Christian ahead of Fraser, and then even Nye, and then Tales, then Lawrence, then Tom, your effective top six. And if we just switch to the leader here, at this rate, George Ansel will be the back of the pack. You heard it here first. That lead is nothing now.
Yeah, effectively as well, because Diogo Silva in 18th place is 9.9 seconds away from George Ansel. So George, unfortunately, will drop back dramatically after this race. Let's see what gap he can build up. Let's see where he will finish, but it won't mean much now, as once again Christian puts the pressure on as he puts himself back in the first place. What about Fraser? What can he do? Started at the P10, now up into P3, pressurised for the lead of the Grand Prix. Tom now puts himself into P6 ahead of Lawrence.
Do you see what I see? Look up.
Is that rain?
That is clouds. Are we in for a grandstand wet race finish? Oh boy. Buckle up, get the umbrellas out.
Oh, we know the conditions can change dramatically around here in Brazil, of course, the climate. It can rain as well heavily around here. Let's see if it does rain. Let's see if rain does impact the circuit, but there's still 9 laps left to go in the Grand Prix. It can change dramatically at any stage during the Grand Prix. The clouds are definitely gathering, like you said. It was very sunny to begin with, but we might see a bit of weather on its way.
So here we go.
You know what? Hazara's done a great job as well. Started down in P16, up into P8, and Tom as well. Let's not forget to mention Tom in P6.
So here we come then. It's George Ansel ahead of trying to get past Christian. Despite that penalty, we have to keep mentioning it. Sorry. He has to serve it at the end of the race because it cannot be removed. Well, no, it can't be. I don't think it will be anyway because, look, it could be about to rain. And there could be double stacks everywhere. Tom, Hazara, Brian Emmers. Brian Emmers doing pretty well after last week. He went out in the first lap because he spun off and he didn't get going again. So the game DQ'd him, but I'm still classing it as DNF in my opinion. Like, kind of like Mazepin because he was in a Haas as well.
Yeah, like you said, Brian doing a really good job in P11. Didn't have his way back in Bahrain, but nice to see him. And Slash as well. Slash has been very quiet in P10 there. Of course, putting the pressure now on Van and his Zara, and also Lawrence. Both Saabers back inside the top. So Slash is ahead of Van going down, or before turn 1, sorry. Now it's going down towards turn 1 indeed, but it is definitely getting a bit darker out there this season. Nico Rassenberg and Finley scrapping away from P11 and P2. I remember Nico Rassenberg had a bandage on his arm. I think he broke his wrist or something, but or sprained it, must be said. As Finley picks himself up a 3-second time,
he's everywhere.
Just drift under the curb there as Nico Rassenberg is right at the back of him.
Yes, he is. And they're sliding around the Decision del Lago as I speak. No, I thought that was starting the rain, but it's not. As they keep fighting for the midfield positions just before the points. Brian Emmers, right behind Finley. Finley right in the back of Brian Emmers, and now Nico Rassenberg in the back of Finley. We have to go further back to the top as the leaders are filtering through the final few corners. 7 laps to go. DRS on for George Ansel. Still no rain, but it looks like it's imminent. Takes the lead again, but it won't be the lead for long, as we said. Tom has just lost 2 positions to the Kick Saubers. Kick Saubers now both go up a spot. They are now 6th and 7th. Hold on.
Yeah.
I thought I saw rain there. I thought it was rain there, but no, it's not. Must be just particles, like dust, coming off the car.
Don't let your eyes deceive you. Just there's 6 laps left to go, so let's see if rain does appear on the circuit. But what about Fraser with P3? Just stuck behind these two. Hasn't really made any inroads on the top 2 just yet in this race. Is there any way he can pass Christian? Christian, up into P2 and 5 for George Johnson for first place. Or all the way around, sorry. But let's see, can he try and get himself further amongst the mid there? Even 9 P4 has also done a fantastic job in the Mercedes. Well, I know both Mercedes last week at the Bahrain Grand Prix, they did struggle to finish inside the top 10. But it looks like it's much better for those two this time around. 4th and 8th so far. We've got Christian on the back of George Ansel's tail once again as he puts himself back into the lead of the Grand Prix. But Fraser, what can he do? Is there any way he can try and find a way past us? Both Kick Saubers just swap places there, go up to P6 and P7. They're both hanging around the 1 second range of DRS. They're trying to get themselves in DRS as well, but unfortunately they can't. The gap is about 1.2 seconds, so a few more tenths to make up. But looks like Fraser's not pushing too hard so far. Maybe he's just keep an eye on the guy behind, or even I as well, to make sure he solidifies that podium pay position. We've got Nico Rassenberg once again up into P11 ahead of Finley, as Finley did have a qualifying ban as Lucas puts himself now up into P5 ahead of Kevin. What a dismal race for Lucas as well after being up there in qualifying, but there's 5 laps left to go in this race then. No rain just yet, but it could be hanging around in the air.
Oh no! Hazara's got a 3-second penalty. And that's not what he wanted at this climactic part of the race. As we have 5 laps to go here, and it's still dry. Maybe it's just cloud. I remember it could have been easily could have been rain in the race if we didn't have to restart and all, but we have to. These collisions are off in qualifying now. What is going to be state of play? George Ansel says no to making a move, and he's getting tagged by Fraser at the back. Here we go, this could where all hell breaks loose. Out of turn 3 we go, down the stretch. Kevin Sonnenberg looks like he's thrown in the towel. And now we have a nice trying to get past Fraser on the outside. But he can't get it done, no advancement of position there, as the top 5 remain as they are.
Indeed then, so down towards turn 1, Fraser was defending from Ivanai. Ivanai tried to go around the outside in towards turn 1, but Fraser defended beautifully, then used his battery to protect himself against Ivanai as well. So, a bit of a tap there from the LP driver of Talus right behind as well in 5th place, waiting in the wings. Of course, I think Talus in 5th place. He's got the oldest tyres out of the lot, so maybe he starts to feel the effects of the medium compound tyre. Their peak performance are possibly gone, but still a little bit of life left in them as there is 3 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Then Fraser looks like he's playing this safe so far, just keeping in DRS range behind these two, protecting himself against even I in 4th place, and possibly later on in the Grand Prix just trying to attack George Ansel and Christian. Of course, he don't need to attack George, but obviously he's an obstacle in the way. He needs to try and get Christian somehow, one way or another.
What is happening to Hazara?
I have no idea.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Is this the entire lobby? No, it's just Hazara. Yeah, Hazara is having big problems.
Oh, not the first time he's had like in Brazil before, but yeah, what a shame for Hazara. Tom now puts himself into P6 ahead of Lawrence. It's been a very good race for Tom as well. Started down in P13, now puts himself in the 6th place ahead of the second pack of the DRS race. But I think he can get super close towards the last stage of the Grand Prix. Let's see who is in what order towards the last lap of the Grand Prix. Christian, though, might use the DRS to back of George, but at the same time, Fraser and even I might pressurise him to overtake him as well, put him into uncomfortable territory. But I know for sure, I don't want to be first going on the last lap as well, because you've got, 3 DRS zones around here.
Yeah. So it looks like there's going to be a safety car free race here, as Christian got a bit uneasy out of the final corner. Now he's going to have to try and get past George Ansel, try and take the lead. Fraser still up there trying to fight as well. 3 laps to go. See what the state of play will be. And Christian is going to go for the move. Is Fraser going to go for the move? No, he is not. He's going to have George Ansel as a bottleneck to his chance of taking a win, because Christian's up there in 1st place. Imagine if Fraser wins this race from 10th. That'd be nuts.
Indeed, and George once again takes the lead, but here comes Evan on the outside in towards turn 4, but on the curb, lost the car, and now Talez goes through. He ghosts through him, but not yet. Now he does. He puts himself into P4, so big mistake there from Evan. Could have cost himself a podium, but still more chances left. He tries to go down the inside in towards turn 8, but too far back to do so. Didn't want to make contact indeed, but this is the spice now. We know George Ansel in 1st place is the outlier. He can't get his penalty removed for those people who just joined, because he did speed legitimately in the pit lane then, so it is a legitimate speed penalty.
So here we go. George Ansel, I think he's been let go away. He's running away now, but it's going to be nothing, because he might get a point or two, but he might not actually. But now Fraser's right behind Christian for the actual win. Christian should be getting past George Ansel and using Ansel as guard, but he's not. He's become unexposed for Fraser and Talez and Evan Nye up there too.
I can't wait to see what happens the last lap of the Grand Prix. Who will be where? Who has played their cards right? It's what? Who can use George as DRS?
Right, sorry. I thought that was Talez getting a penalty. No, it's Lucas. He's retired from the race.
Oh, what a shame for Lucas as well in P17. But look at this, Fraser side by side. But Christian just a little bit late on the brakes there. In towards turn 9 we go, as Lucas unfortunately retires after starting in a really good place. Big contact between the two, but this is coming towards the last lap of the Grand Prix. Let's see what happens. Over to you, Logan.
Here we go then, the final lap about to begin. Discount George Ansel. He's got a 10-second penalty. That is not going to get rectified for sure. Christian and Fraser are fighting for the win, but so are Tails and Evan Nye. They're just behind. This is it, the final lap of the 2nd round of the season. And it's Christian that's going to lead it. Is he going to try and get ahead? No, he is not going to get ahead of George Ansel. He's going to try and get ahead at the next stretch, and this will be extremely crucial to how this race ends. But you've got to remember, they've all got energy as well. Here we go to the final back straight for the final time tonight. Is Christian going to get ahead of George Ansel? No, he's not. Fraser will try and throw his hat in the ring. George Ansel got another penalty as well. So, yeah, I don't think he might be well down the order. But after this, Christian still holding on. Christian, is he going to try and get past George Ansel? No, he is not. Fraser trying to get through. This might be a drag race to the line, because as we know, it's a long race, straight line race to the line. And now Fraser is getting extremely desperate. Zayden's got a penalty. He's in 16th. Doesn't matter. Oh, and they're getting uneasy towards Juncker now. And oh no! A mistake from Fraser! Is that it? Is that it? Has Christian just won this race? I think so. He'll get past George Ansel for sure, and I'm sure Christian is going to win here in Brazil. He gets through and wins. Hello?
Sorry about that. That was a fantastic battle indeed. But Fraser almost lost the podium out of Young Car because he lost the back of the car. Tails was at the back of his tail, and even now was right at the back of it too. He almost got out Tyler. Sorry, he almost got out dragged Fraser twice to get shuffled down to P4. That mistake could have cost him dearly, but managed to keep Tellers and even I right behind as well. Great drive from Lawrence up into P5 Slash as well. What a great drive from Slash into P6 there after starting down in P15. So fantastic drive from the Haasbahn this time around, unlike the Bahrain Grand Prix. But the Brazilian Grand Prix never fails to deliver either. So fantastic race for all these guys. Driver of the day is Brian Emmons, but we'll see who the driver of the day is after the Grand Prix. But yeah, what another race to remember. It's a shame for George Ansel.
That's it,
Fraser. Yeah, good shout.
No, he lost it at the end. Should just let you know that the standings, quite an anticlimactic ending, with Fraser losing at the back. Of course, Christian overtook George Ansel for the win, but George Ansel had a penalty anyway, so it didn't matter. So Christian gets his first point to the board, 16 points. George Ansel only gets 1. Because, no. Who was Paul? Got to remember.
George Ansel was Paul.
Yeah, so he only gets 1 point from that, so he stays on 1 point. Lawrence, as we don't have the results, wow, great game. So if you just give me a second.
Was the Brazilian Grand Prix fantastic to Christian, doing a fantastic job to claim his first win of the season, but we'll see what happens.
As I was about to say, so Lawrence finished 5th in that race, so he gets 6 points. He's on 22. Hazara doesn't get any points to his total. Jude was absent. Yanil only gets a point, so he's on 9 points. So Christian, I think, has put him up to 2nd place today. We were looking at Fraser got 12 points, so he's now on 16 points. He'll be tied with Christian. So yeah, I think Lawrence has kept his lead for the meantime. Tails finishing 3rd, he's on 15. And Evan Nye finishing 4th, he's now on 9. So I can't say with full confidence that Lawrence is still the championship leader, despite everything that happened today.
Yeah, indeed. Then. So he does remain in championship lead as he finishes 6th place, but the kicks out is definitely, they had 1-2 last time out, but here at Brazil, everything changed. We'll see if they can come back stronger in the next race indeed. But what a fantastic race. It was anticlimactic, as you said. What a shame for George Ansel, because what's going through your head when you pick up a 10-second penalty? Like, you think to yourself, what's the point? Because you've got nowhere. You can't win the Grand Prix. You can't finish the podium unless something dramatic happens, or even start the top 10. So, what must have gone on in his mind there towards the last stages? But still, tried to do everything he could just in case anything happened. But the 3rd race is at the Belgian Grand Prix, so let's see how that race unfolds.
Yes, it'll be the 3rd of 9 races, just 9 this season, of the season where there are no breaks either. So going week after week after week after week in this entire season. Be the legendary 7km Spa circuit next week. I hope you can join us then. Until next week, I wish you all a very good night from myself and Indigo. Good night, and enjoy it, and watch F1. Watch F1 and use the PSGL code as well. We make sure you get 5% off G2 Mega products. Go watch F1 now. It's about to begin. See you later.